You are less than 15 minutes away and 9 tips from turning audio like this. Learn how to take this kind of audio into audio like this. Okay, tip number 1. Find yourself a quiet place to record. Right now, all I have running is the furnace fan and the heating system in my house. Whoa, that's loud. And I won't clip out any of the background noise just so you guys can hear how much that impacts the audio. Now if I turn it off, now you can hear the background, the fish tank water sound. I'll go top some of that water up and see if we can get that eliminated. Okay, we've got the quiet place set up. Let's get that microphone dialed in. Tip number 2, the microphone. Alright, on your Audacity screen, adjust your levels here so that your average volume on your voice shows up at about the -12 value. That's going to be a good place to start. It brings us close, but not quite to where we need to be. So if you find this is a problem for you, go down to your clock icon by your speakers for Windows, right-click on that, click on Sounds, click on Recording, Microphone, and on the Levels tab, you'll see this corresponds to the level we had up in Audacity. Now instead, let's take this down and we'll bring the microphone boost up to +20 dB and hit OK. Let's go back to Audacity here now and let's play with these levels and see if we can achieve what we want. That's looking like that's doing the trick there. -12 with that dB boost, and you could see that I had more dB boost to go as well. For the sound, MME, Windows Direct Sound, or Windows Wasabi? It doesn't really matter here. Windows Direct Sound is the later of the two, but just make sure you have the right microphone selected so that you pick up your audio. So those two, this and your levels, and this will probably default back anytime you restart Audacity. So remember what you've got set there and the number of values. Tip number 3, compressor. When to use compressor, when to use normalize. Compressor if your audio is really quiet or you have large variations in sound. Some of the waveforms are really big, some of them are really small. Compressor initially is going to help you out more than using just normalize on the audio stream. For example, say you take your camera and you set this microphone to be active and you're talking at the back of it, or maybe you forget to plug your mic in all the way, whatever. I know I've done it. This is one way you could kind of fix it if there's a clip that you really want to salvage in post-production. What does it look like? Let's take a peek. We'll just record some audio here that's really quiet. And what I'll do is I'll duplicate it for you so we can do it 2 ways. First one, we'll do compressor. Default values are good. Second one, we will normalize. And already you can see a pretty dramatic difference on what happened here. This is essentially the most you can boost a clip without clipping it. Now if you've got an audio stream that's got some loud and then some quiet like here, it's going to help kind of average it out a little bit better. Takeaway, if your audio is quiet, use compressor first. And if you're not sure, just use compressor first. Okay, so tool number 4, normalize. We kind of talked briefly about it. So if you're going to use compressor, use it once right at the beginning to kind of boost all your levels as much as you can. if you overuse it or use it more than once, the audio starts sounding a little fake, a little digitized. Normalize, you can use it kind of throughout the process, and you'll kind of see me do it as we get on a little bit later on the workflow. And if you're thinking, holy crap, like I can't remember all this stuff, that's fine. After we go through the tools here and kind of explain them better so you guys understand what the tools are doing, I'll go through and I'll show you one of my clips start to finish. So bear with me, hang until the end. Tip number 5, noise reduction. I've gone into some more detail and give you 3 different methods to do this. I'm just going to touch on the one for the video here, and this is a fantastic way to get rid of the background noise, anything that you can't get rid of. Like right now my CPU fans are running and I know that Rode mic is going to pick it up. So pro tip here, before you start recording, leave some blank audio at the beginning. This way, once you put your talking in, you can go through and take that noise out after. For the noise reduction, click, drag, select the piece that has no audio, just noise. Oops, that's me banging on the desk. We won't use that piece. Then go to Effect, Noise Reduction, get Noise Profile, Control A to select all, Effect, Noise Reduction again, default values are good, click on OK, and look at that. Ooh, that's silky. Effect number 6, Amplify. So where would you want to use this? Let's say you got a bird making a quiet little sound like I did the other day with my cockatiels in the background, or the sound I had at the beginning of this clip. Sound familiar, guys? To use it, Effect, Amplify, and this one I used a value of 10. Moral of the story, don't believe anything you see on video, even mine. But you can trust that this clip is legit. Maybe. Hello out there! Tip number 7. Bam! Reverb. The last effect was achieved with reverb. How to do it? Let's take a look. Select your audio, Control A, Effect, go to Reverb, and default values, and let's take a listen. Hello out there! Doesn't get easier than this, does it? Number 8. Bass and treble. When to use it? A great time to use it is if you've got a little tiny mic that's not picking up your audio properly. So if you got a cheap little mic, it just makes the audio sound a little more full. Let's take a listen. Sound clip test with a noise floor in the back. And if we just take and highlight the whole clip, Effect, bass and treble, I'm going to exaggerate it probably more than I would ever use it. 15. Yeah, that's definitely more than I'd use, but just so you can hear the difference. Sound clip test with a noise floor in the back. And then again the other way. Sound clip test with a noise floor in the back. You can hear it just sounds a little more full. Okay, last tip here. Changing pitch. You ever want to sound like a chipmunk? Boom, let's do it. Just take your clip, whatever piece you want, and go Effect, change pitch. And I don't know, let's bump it up 5 steps, see what we get.
Sound clip test with a noise floor in the back.
Or, what's more fun, you get to sound like that guy. Oh, you know which guy I'm talking about. Roll.
Giddy up, papa mama. Giddy up, papa mama.
I'm going to call this one bonus. Noise gate, live audio, noise reduction. What we're doing if you're taking an audio sample that's been pre-recorded. So noise gate for live, noise reduction not live. Essentially what a noise gate does is it'll take any frequency below a certain value and it'll just chuck it. Noise reduction looks at the waveform and just pulls that waveform out of your entire audio file. The perk of this is with a noise gate, you'll still have the background in if it passes or exceeds that certain threshold. Whereas with noise reduction, it actually pulls it out of the underlying waveform as well. So it's removed from the entire audio clip, not just from the certain segments. So let's take a listen and we'll see if I can recreate it for you. Go Effect Noise Gate again. We'll bump that value up a little bit to grab that file. Or to grab that audio underneath this part right here. That kind of did the trick. We're getting closer. Let's go a little more. Alright, well that's kind of getting there. Now on the bottom one, let's process it the other way that I showed you earlier. Noise reduction, get noise profile, select the clip effect, noise reduction, and bada boom. Now let's take a listen to both clips. Sound clip test with a noise floor in the back. So you can kind of still hear the underlying fan noise underneath. Let's listen to the other one. Sound clip test with a noise floor in the back. You'll notice the difference right away. There's a whole mouthful. Let's put it all together and you'll see it's not as bad as what it looked for information. To start out, open up your audio file, whatever that's going to be. For me, it's going to be movie files that I edit primarily on. So I'll open that up. And first thing we'll do is we'll go Control A to select all. And choose either Compressor or Normalize. For me, Normalize is going to work fine on this clip. If you're using Compressor, I will do it just for shits and giggles here. Compressor, go OK. The default values are just fine. And the new waveform looks pretty good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to find a nice little piece of solid, quiet audio that just has the ambient sound running. That's going to work just nice. We'll go Effect, Noise Reduction. Get the noise profile, Control A to select the whole clip, Effect, back to noise reduction, and OK to run it. Listen to the new one. Cleans it up pretty good. Alright, we'll use the next tool on our bag here, Amplify. See a couple of loud spikes here, let's take a peek at them. Click and drag to select, Control E to zoom in. And let's see what we got here. Oh, it's just a mouse click that's a little too loud. So Effect, we will go Amplify, -3, go OK. Control, scroll out a little bit to see. Might be still a little loud relative to the rest of the waveform here. So we can go Effect, and if we just want to repeat what we did, we can also click on Control R to repeat the last effect that we used. Control F to zoom out. Looks pretty good. There's another spike in here. Let's zoom in and see what that is. And I can see already that this is just talking. So that's okay. Control F to zoom back out. The rest of it looks pretty good. No other bass I need to apply here, any other effects or anything I want to do, so I'm just going to go Control A, Effect, and Normalize to finish it all off. -2 dB is what I use here instead of -1. It's the value that I like. And that looks like a really nice waveform, and we can listen to any piece of it we want to.
Let me show you how I edit my Audacity.
And that sounds pretty good. We could go a little further and we could clean this up, but it's already so quiet, I don't want to risk damaging the audio because the quality is pretty good. File, export, export audio. Save it as whatever you like and save. It'll export and you're done. I hope you guys learned something here today. If you did, great. Hit a subscribe. More good information, more good content to come here. Hit the like. If you don't, thumbs it down. Be honest with me. Enjoy. Take care.